among me. They're so weak, they're so weak, they're so weak. And maybe that's why they despise me. 'Cause I don't think there's a virtue in weakness. At least not when I can see God. At least not when I can get down on my knees and say, Lord, please help me, help me, help me. People that don't believe in God, they think that it's up to society to fix all the problems caused by society. It's not God's fault, it's not God's fault, it's not God's fault that man's broken. And they choose things to make them even more broken. What's that sound? Yeah, it's like really scratchy. And I'm not saying if you don't believe in God, then you're some stupid ass leftist. What I'm saying is that I think that people, because I don't even really think it matters if you believe in God. I should have said that differently. I mean, I can sing whatever I want. Sing whatever I want, explain it later. But people that know that there's a reason for everything don't play the victim about things. Okay? People that know that there's a reason for everything don't react. Okay? Just because something happens and it's not a fun experience doesn't mean that it's bad. It doesn't mean that it was wrong. And you see this a lot with people and the way that they get treated. You know, like, I am glad that people shit on me. I'm glad that people tell me to kill myself. I'm glad that people have always been rude to me, because it teaches me not to expect shit from the world. It teaches me to not expect anything positive. And I know that sounds really cynical, doesn't it? But I'm not looking to the world for that. I got to get that from myself. I got to get that from my belief in God. And that's not a cope either. The reason why the left is so crazy is because they turn to all these things that don't work. I've seen so many people completely transform because of their belief in God. Like, their lives are total shit, and then they just add a little faith, and it's just amazing, like, how much their life vastly improves. And anytime that I say that, then people come at me with, "Oh, this is what happened to me." But stop playing the victim, dude. Like, maybe the reason why he didn't reveal himself to you is because you're in the victim mentality. And the thing is, people that are in the victim mentality can't see the good that's around them, because they're too busy looking at all the negative stuff, you know? And I mean, I bitch about stuff all the time. I mean, that's part of comedy. That's part of living in America. That's a huge part of living in America. And apparently, if you notice things that are bad about this country because of the citizens here, not because of immigrants and not because of governments, but because of the citizens here, okay? That's why I call them shitizens, because all they do is shit themselves. That you're not patriotic or some shit. Well, fuck, I'm not patriotic anyway. Fuck that shit. I don't understand patriotism. I think it's fucking gay. It is. It's gay. That's why I call them gay-triots. Because this hasn't been the country that it was, so it doesn't make sense why you idol worship it. It's like you're obsessed with this dead idea of something that hasn't been alive for like 200 fucking years, and you think that some politician is gonna revive that shit. You know, that's our responsibility. But everybody is too fat and they're too hooked on pills and hooked on fucking Netflix and scrolling on TikTok and Instagram and shit to actually do anything effective. And anybody that does things that are crazy, like, I don't know, set fire to a federal building. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but that's effective, isn't it? I mean, why is that crazy? You think this whole country's communist, you know? So why would that be a crazy reaction to that? You want to react on Twitter. You're just saying words. Like, that's not... I don't take people seriously that just talk. Okay? That doesn't mean anything. Anybody can say anything. Yeah, I know I'm offensive because I practice what I preach and shit. Because I'm exercising my freedom. I'm actually utilizing the freedom that I have. If I don't have to have a smartphone, I'm not going to have a fucking smartphone. Fuck that shit. Fuck you for expecting me to, you fucking sheep. I hate sheep. I do. I need to stop though. It's not a Christian sentiment. But you know, they're always shitting. They're always shitting, so I'm shitting right back. Because I think that's funny. You know, there really aren't very many insult comics. You know, it occurred to me. When I did comedy recently and I was like shitting on people that go to 12-step programs. I was like, man, like, people don't find this shit funny. Like, that's what I was thinking the whole time I was up there. Like, people don't find it funny because it's just true. It's too accurate for people to find it funny. But you know what I think it is like people, they get mad when you're like making fun of them for needing help, you know? Well, here's the thing. I'd totally be in favor of AA if the people that went weren't like super narcissistic about it. And they have no right to be narcissistic about it because they're the one that ruined their life with fucking alcohol, okay? Or drugs or whatever it was. So much so that they have to go to a 12-step program in order to stay away from it. You know, they need support. Okay? I remember thinking that a bunch of times when I was in a meeting, like, man, this is just pathetic, isn't it? Like, I could just go talk to God. But you know, I freaked out my sponsors because I was just so excited to work on myself. Most of the people in there, they dread doing step work. But the whole reason why I was attracted to the program in the first place was so I could work on myself. Most people don't like self-evaluation because it's not a fun experience. They don't want to look at all their faults and analyze how those faults are probably because of them and not just because of the people that wronged them, you know? But you know, I highly recommend some of those steps. So maybe it's a good thing for narcissists to go. I don't know. I hate narcissists. And it sucks because, like, I think that most of the people that go are that way. So I'd say the same thing about comedy. I say there are very few people that do comedy because they have anything interesting to actually say. They're just insecure people that want to get up there and prove that they're insecure. But when it comes to, what do you call it? 12 steps, I would say that a lot of those people don't really want to get better. They just want this illusion of getting better. And I see straight through that shit because, like, I've been to enough meetings where, like, I hear just people repeating slogans, just proving that they're sheep. And, you know, my mom got mad at me for saying all this shit. She was like, you know, that helps a lot of people, Amy. Yeah, well, those people are fucking weak. I just see it as a sheep thing. That's why I hate it so much. What did I just scream about? What did I just scream about? I know it sounds really judgmental. Because it's based off of my perspective, which is like, it's actually pretty biblical. Like, if you read the Bible, you'd understand. Because there are a lot of passages in the Bible that rail on sheep. And like how boring people are, and how they're not alive, and they don't think for themselves, so they just do whatever they're told to do. They have eyes but they cannot see, they have ears but they cannot hear. Who do you think that's written about? Because those of us that can actually see and hear are constantly shat on by society. Because people don't want to see the things that we see or hear the things that we hear. They don't want to trust the voice of God. And so anytime that you have an instinct, like, don't take pharmaceuticals because they have no liability. Anytime that voice speaks really loud and you actually listen to it, all the sheep will shit on you. Because they're listening to the voice of the world. And they want to please the world. Well, I don't give a fuck about that. Because those people don't have your back. They'll never have your back. It's your responsibility to understand you and fix your damn problems. And, you know, the thing with the therapist, as well as with a sponsor, it's just really questionable, you know? At any given point, that person can just take advantage of you, plant thoughts in your head, use your information against you. They have no liability either, you know? So that contract between patients and therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists, that's for the protection of them, not the protection of you. No, you're damn right.